What's up, guys? Mad Max here, and today I am going to talk about the cheapest clean title Ferrari 360 in the US that runs. Technically it runs. Let's take a peek at the POS that I just bought. Okay, so I am here in my warehouse with my new-to-me Ferrari 360. Don't mind the 2007 STI Limited, one of 800. We'll talk about that later. And, you know, RS4 is here too. Let's talk about this. My new-to-me Ferrari 360. Now, I am not going to fire this up today, though I swear to you, it does run. The reason why I'm not going to fire it up is because somebody, previous owner, overfilled it a little bit with oil, and this thing will literally smoke out my shop. So, of course, what the hell, Max? What did you buy? Well, this is a 2000 Ferrari 360. This is a Euro spec model. Now, I know some people will say, how can you tell? Well, one of the first giveaways is that if you look right here, you can see that this is amber. Well, that's a Euro spec thing. The other little giveaway is the fact that we got holes for a Euro license plate. Now, don't know if that's 100% on all of them, if they all have that Euro plate hole set. But one of the other reasons you can tell it's a Euro car is because the climate control, if you can see closely on that center, is in Celsius, not in Fahrenheit. So what's that mean? I don't know. I can tell you that I'm not sure what it does for the value of the car. What it does mean is that this car is a little bit quicker than a US spec car. It's got a little bit less crash structure, I believe, and it's missing the primary cats unless somebody actually did put them back in, because this car has spent its entire life in California. As you can see, the paint has seen better days. The door handles on both sides and both mirrors are faded out. This car looks like it sat for a long time. You can see the dashboard peeled back a little bit. A lot of it. And judging from under the hood, if I can figure out how to open it with one hand here. Come on. There we go. It's a little moldy and dirty. Well, you know, typical things, right? At least the hood struts work. So I know that the toolkit is in there. I have no idea what that is. Just starting off in the front, as you can see, the headlights are super yellowed. Now, as I said, this car spent its life in California, so the car was federalized when it was brand new. Got brought into the country and was driven here. And this car has, I believe, 25,000 miles on it right now, so it has done a little bit of mileage. Not too bad, though, for the year of the car. Moving on to the sides, factory shields, great option. The car is surprisingly straight. It does have a bunch of little dings, like you can see right here. There's 1, 2, and I think it's got the same thing on this side. Yeah, another couple here. I promise I'm not hiding anything by parking this up against the wall. It's just how it made for the best room. Element SC. Again, not going to talk about that right now. Yeah, so let's take a look on the inside. All right, so inside we have a slightly smelly, kind of disgusting interior. Got a lovely bucket of bolts that was free with the car. We have one of the engine covers right there. And we have, as I said, the peeling dash, the airbag cover peeling up, and then the headliner looks like Vinny from Hoonigans. Yeah, so at least this car has a black interior. That's the best part about it. I don't have to go re-dye it like he did. Yes, it is rough, but, you know, it's still a Ferrari. Let's take a look under the bonnet. All right, so as you can see, the engine bay is a little dirty. We have a sticker here for federalizing it. So they put evap controls in it, but I don't believe they put the primary cats in that US spec cars have. I'm sure somebody will tell me this in the comments. Those are the headers right there. And then if you look back, I don't see a cat on this pipe at all. And funny enough, this was a California car, as I said. We got some big old cats back here, right there. But I don't see 4 cats. I think this only has the 2, which is awesome because it means it makes more power than a US car. And as I said, a little bit lighter too. The passenger engine cover is in the car right now. And then the engine looks a little bit worse for wear, unfortunately. But as I said, it's a Ferrari. I also have a 2B exhaust because, you know, if you have a Ferrari that barely runs, you know, you have to have a good exhaust system on it, right? Right? Okay, let's just call it yes. So, talking about why I bought this car and what has been done to it. Well, let me start off by saying the car was purchased from a friend of mine who purchased it at auction with no keys. And yes, he did get a clean and clear title with it, but came with no keys, did not run. So he purchased the car. He replaced that fuel pump because somebody cracked the fuel pump hat and one of the fuel lines. And he also disabled the immobilizer, which is essentially useless in these cars at this point. And he did a very nice little mod, which is getting an Enzo key. Now this, right now the battery's off, so I can't click it to lock and unlock, but this does work to lock and unlock the car. And because the immobilizer has been disabled, the key works perfectly fine. So now I have a fancy Ferrari key for my not so fancy Ferrari. But big thing is, it got rid of that stupid immobilizer that always seems to go bad. So ECUs have been gone through, immobilizers have been defeated, and as I said, that fuel pump has been replaced. And the car runs. Unfortunately, the people that worked on it before he worked on it overfilled the oil. So he did have to drain it and did properly fill it, but of course, oil did get into the intake tract because I believe you do have to start these to check the oil. No big deal, it is what it is. Okay, so what else is broken with this thing? Well, it currently does not move under its own power. It will start up, it will not go into gear. It will go into gear if you plug in a scanner with the car off, but there's something wrong with the clutch engagement. So I have a Ferrari technician that's going to come to me, look at the car, and figure out what is wrong. Once that's done and this car runs, well, let me rephrase that. Once this car drives under its own power, then what I will do is I am going to have the timing belt done. God knows when the timing belt was done last, and let's face it, these cars are supposed to be done every 5 years, so it's probably extremely overdue. Other plans for the car? Well, the tires appear to be original, which when you see the dry rot and cracking in the tires here, and you can see, oh no, the tires are not original. I stand corrected, they're from 2005. Wow. So they're not original, but they might as well be because they are the better part of 20 years old. So tires will go on the car. The brake rotors, as you can see, don't look very lipped, but they do have surface rust on them. Believe it or not, brake rotors and pads are surprisingly cheap for a 360. You can get a full set of pads and rotors for about $1,200, maybe even a little bit less. The rotors are under $200 a rotor, which is shocking on a Ferrari. But it is what it is. Rotors, believe it or not, are the same front and back. Another weird fact about the 360. Once we do tires, if we got to do brakes, if they don't clean up once I drive it around a little bit, I'll do brakes, not a big deal. Going to get the mirrors painted, possibly rewrap the dash, and, maybe get this trim painted. And we'll have ourselves a cheap 360 that is going to go to the next home. So once we have this done, I probably will sell it. I have never had any aspirations to own a 360, but the opportunity presented itself, and I paid a couple grand less than what Vin paid for his 360. Except, as I said, his drove and his interior was in better shape than this. Even though he had a tan interior, and it's a slightly weird champagne color, which I actually do like, this one, the interior is beat up, and it does not move under its own power. But I do technically have the cheaper of the two clean title running cars. I know it's clickbaity. I know it's BS. Yes, he got the better deal. It is what it is. So, yeah, that's it. Hope you guys like this. I know it's kind of like a quick run around, and I hope I didn't make anybody seasick. But yeah, this is going to be a cool little project. I'm looking forward to it. I also just got into this little warehouse here, which is fairly close to my house. And I have proceeded to stock it with a bunch of cars. I'll do just a quick walkthrough of the cars that are in here. And, if you guys are interested in any of the other cars that are in here, I might possibly make some content on those as well. So just to start off with, I got this 2007 Honda Element SC in root beer metallic. Car's got 149,000 miles on it, and it will probably go to Bring a Trailer soon. Coolest part about it, yes, it is a manual transmission. In fact, the only car in this shop that does not have a third pedal is the Ferrari. So, let's continue the tour here. Got my 08 RS4, just did an HMS exhaust on this about a month or two ago. Sounds incredible. If I haven't put the video out of the exhaust clips already, I will put it out after this. You definitely need to listen to it. This is the best sounding RS4 I have ever heard, video or in person. It's incredible. I love this car. I don't understand why these cars are worth less than E90 M3s, because this car is so much more special than one of those. But I digress. So this is my 2007 Subaru Impreza WRX STI Limited. What a mouthful. Now this thing, if you know, you know. If you don't, they only made 800 of these cars. They made them in urban gray metallic, which is this, and then they made them in white. Big thing with the STI Limited, starting off in the front. If you notice, it has fog lights on the front lip, which never came on any other STI of this generation. Moving over to the side, you have different wheels. These were available in Europe, and I believe they were an option in Japan. I'm not 100% sure, but they are specific to the Limited in terms of USDM cars. One other thing to note on the outside of the car, besides the obvious, which we'll get to in the back, is that all STI Limiteds have a sunroof. Kind of cool. Inside, you have a black leather interior, And all STI Limiteds are individually numbered. This one is number 741. All STIs of this generation were manual, so no need to go over that. Now, moving around to the back. No wing. No rear glass either. That's another story for another day. But no rear wing, just a little lip spoiler, which is exactly how STI Limiteds rolled out of the factory. It was the gentleman's STI. Very cool car. All the fun of an STI without looking like an idiot rolling down the road with a 2-foot-tall wing on the back. So, turning the camera over here, we have a 2018 911 Carrera 2S. This car has 5,400 miles on it. It's a stick. It's a consignment car. Just selling this. This is not a content thing at all. Just really nice car that a friend of mine asked me to help him sell. Coolest part about this is that it is, as I said before, all the other cars in here besides the Ferrari are manuals. This one's a manual as well, and it's super low mile, really clean car. And finally, yeah, this is a Terminator Cobra right here. 2004 Cobra, 30,600 miles on it. I actually just took a deposit on this car yesterday, so this car will be leaving very shortly. Really nice car. Has very light modifications. I put spacers on the back. The stock wheels are so sunken in, it looks terrible. But that 1-inch spacer that I have on there makes it look right. As I said, 30,000 miles on it. Really nice inside. It is charcoal inserts, which is kind of rare. And 04 Cobras are much more rare than 03s. I'll pop the hood real quick and just show you what's going on under there. Okay, so under the hood, we have a 4.6 liter V8, 4 valves per cylinder, twin overhead cam, supercharged. This car's got mild mods, pulley, tune, intake, and a catback. Probably makes, cars with similar mods make, I think, somewhere between 420 and 450 wheel. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, by all means. It's a 2.8 upper pulley, so some 03 Cobra nerd is going to know much better than me. All I can say is car's pretty damn quick, and it's pretty basic modification. Thing drives awesome. The clutch is ridiculously heavy in these cars, but that's just how these cars are. Out back, as I said, I got the spacers on the wheels, and then it's got a catback on it from MagnaFlow. Sounds good, drives good, but as I said, she's going bye-bye. Guy from Long Island saw it, fell in love with it, and he'll enjoy it. As I said, great car. One other thing I didn't mention is it's got Maximum Motorsports subframe connectors, so the car feels much stiffer. If you do have an 03-04 Cobra and it's a convertible, I definitely recommend it because driving this, it feels just as stiff as a coupe. It's worth every penny. Anyway, so that is the state of my current collection in here. I still got my Jeep, still have my S6, I have the electric Fiat outside. That's really my daily, and I got a couple electric bikes to play around with. But yeah, so the 360 I'm going to continue working on over the next few weeks. As I said, I have that Ferrari tech coming in that should hopefully get me up and running with that. If you guys have any questions, if there are any cars that pop out at you that you want me to film a little bit more on, I think I'm going to do a little bit more filming in here. And yeah, just want to find out what everybody likes, you know. If nobody likes the STI, I'm not going to make a video on it. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys soon.